What's up, guys? Heretic You here, coming at you with another video. And I know that these videos aren't really popular. A lot of people don't like them. I'm getting some dislikes and stuff. But guys, there's no gaming going on with, the worldwide coof happening. And I just want to speak my mind. And I just want to get these things off my chest. And whether or not you agree with them, hopefully you could stick around with the channel. Continue to support me. And if you disagree, let's have a discussion about this, in the comments. Anyways, today we are talking about cancel culture. And what is cancel culture? Well, that's a good question because everyone kind of, it's the internet. So everyone kind of has like their own definition of it. So for purposes of this little discussion, I would say cancel culture is basically the targeting of a person, taking words that they've said, making the worst possible interpretation of those words, and then using those words to get them either deplatformed or unemployed or both. Okay. And a lot of people that might say, well, cancel culture doesn't exist. Those are usually people doing the cancel culture, if you know what I mean. It's usually some guy that's, you could always tell, like, the guy doing the thing is saying that it doesn't exist because, he kind of wants to get away with it. And, their defense is basically, look, it's this guy said this horrible thing. This person said this horrible thing, and this is just society reacting. But I'll tell you, there are two key components to cancel culture that makes it not so. So the first component that we could actually look at, and our most recent example would be Gina Carano from Star Wars fame. I'm not a Star Wars fan. I don't know who she is. I don't even watch The Mandalorian. But, so I don't have a dog in this fight, so I'm totally neutral on this. But she recently posted something on her Instagram. Let's read it and try to interpret. We could see how cancel culture is being used in this particular case to get her fired, which is what happened at Disney. Okay, so she writes, Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. Because history is edited, most people today don't realize to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made them hate their own neighbors. Hate them for simply being Jews. How's that any different from hating someone for their political views? Okay, so what she's trying to do is kind of give you a cautionary tale, right? She's saying by targeting groups of people and dehumanizing them, it will lead to bad things. Now, this is being interpreted as anti-Semitic and bigoted. And so what they're doing is taking the part where it says that, the first part of the sentence here, Jews were not beaten in the streets, Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers. What she's saying there is that if the Nazis eventually round them up and, commit genocide, but at first it was the population turning against them. They're trying to take this as an endorsement of Nazis, which is the worst possible way. And that's really what cancel culture is doing, is taking that sentence, interpreting it in a way and attributing almost malice to it. And then you can then use that to get that person, quote unquote, canceled, which is deplatformed or fired or both. And that's the second component to cancel culture. This weapon that I'm calling cancel culture is, now that we can establish this and take this person's words out of context, we can then use that as establishing this person as a horrible person, and therefore anything you do to them is fair game. And so they shouldn't have a job. They shouldn't be able to speak. And that's the dangerous part about it, is the combination of the two. Hey, she was actually saying the opposite of what you're accusing her of doing. She's actually saying, look, the Nazis were bad for doing this, and it started this way. Okay? I don't know how else to interpret that. But again, if I was one of these psychopaths on, the Twitter that are actually saying, like, this is bigoted, this is evil speech, and we should get rid of this person, it's really bad, because this person is actually trying to do a good thing and kind of warn people, hey, we could be going down a bad path, right? But, that's cancel culture. So when someone argues like cancel culture doesn't exist, what you do is you tell them, look, okay, if it doesn't exist, then why are people being targeted and fired or deplatformed for saying things that they didn't actually say? And it's wrong, and it's dangerous, and it's hard to empathize because it's usually targeted towards celebrities or people with influence. So it's like, who am I? So I don't think I'll ever be canceled because, no one ever listens to this channel, but two, I don't have that kind of power. So when people get canceled, it doesn't have the impact that it should, because usually it's someone that's more privileged than you, and so it's hard to empathize with that person. But really think about what this is doing to a society. It's kind of taking intent from a person just because you don't like them. I don't know what she did. Like I said, I don't know who she is, but my guess is she's probably, one of those Trump supporters, because basically, she's saying is like, don't treat people who disagree with you as non-humans, and therefore, that's why the crowd is going after her, because, it's a dangerous message, because what it's saying is, hey, let's all try to get along. The unity people are saying, let's get rid of this person that is calling for, unity. Anyways, that's my video. It's a fucked up situation, and I wish it wasn't like this, but this is 2021. And, if you like what I'm doing, encourage me by hitting that like button and subscribe. And otherwise, I'll see you on the next one. I appreciate it, guys.